I'm curious to know from you, Hester, because you were at uni, or you were close to finishing uni when you met Ben, and as dating someone whose profile was quite big, quite quickly, I would say, how you adjusted your life and your goals personally to that. You've talked a little bit about it there with showcasing causes that you care about, but I'm curious to know how that was for you.
It's a really interesting time for me, actually, because I think growing up, I was really obsessed with success in an external and conventional way. Like, I thought I had to achieve in everything I did, be perfect, get the right marks, go to the right school. So I studied law after school. Really passionate. I wanted to do human rights law, really passionate about making a difference. And I realised pretty quickly, actually, that even though I care about those things so much, it wasn't like an ideal world for me. Someone who's very like anxious and like, really hard on themselves. It was very competitive, really interesting and a great experience, and I made lots of friends. But in terms of the profession and the environment, it was very competitive and adversarial, and kind of argumentative, and not really what I wanted, I guess, not really how I saw myself living out the rest of my life. So I think when I met Ben, I was trying actually to shift my focus a little bit and look after myself better and think about what I really wanted and not what I just thought people expected of me or what I thought I should do. And Ben was so incredible at bringing me back down to earth and had an incredible impact on me, helping me to like relax and be comfortable with myself and to enjoy life, I guess, instead of just trying to win it or run it or be in charge of it. And it changed my life in a lot of ways too. We moved in together pretty quickly. We'd only been together for a year and a half or something when we moved in together. I mean, a little bit, truly. My mum moved into an apartment. I was living with my mum and my sister. So it was either I was going to move into a tiny apartment with my mum in St Kilda, and it would be really hard for us to see each other because Ben was living in Werribee, or we found a place together. So it was actually like a pretty quick move, but it had a lot of impacts for me too. Like, my family didn't have a lot of money. My mum's an artist and a disability support worker, disability art teacher. So Centrelink put me through uni, and as soon as I moved in with Ben, all of my Centrelink payments got cut. It made us a couple, and so even his first year wage was, or second year, whatever it was too much for the threshold. And I just remember bawling my eyes out on the phone because I was like, how am I going to buy my books?
Yeah.
And it forced us really early actually into this relationship where Ben was the breadwinner and I had to accept money from him or I wouldn't have been able to do it.
Yeah.
So it changed things pretty quickly, I think. And I think maybe in a way that was a good lesson for me, because when it comes to footy, there's not a lot of flexibility at all in their schedules. And everything else has to work around footy. There's nothing that footy really bends for. So it's probably a good lesson for me in how the next 10 years of my life would go, I guess. It sounds kind of, I don't know, maybe it sounds kind of sad or dramatic, but it's just kind of true that if you sort of have to understand, and we tried the absolute best we can to make sure everything is equal and even and fair in our relationship, but footy doesn't really get fair.
Yeah.
Including your pregnancies.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Ben had knee surgery when I was 40 weeks pregnant with our second child. So when I was in the hospital after giving birth, the nurses were bringing him ice. It was supposed to be for my perineum, but it was on his knee.
Did they let you into the Royal Women's, Ben? Were you doing your knee?
He basically was.
It was. I remember having the chat with the footy club because I'd hurt my knee sort of that week. And yeah, Hess was due. So we were kind of going like, look, she wasn't getting induced or anything. So it was like, it could come at any time over the next 2 weeks.
Is 40 more than 9 months?
40 is bang on.
Bang,
Right,
yeah.
okay.
That's your due date.
I think you were like 39 and a half when we were having the discussion. We went into the surgeon. So like, look, we need to get this done now, or you lose. You could wait for Hester to give birth. But that might be another 2 weeks down the track. So then you've lost 2 weeks of your rehab, and then we were sort of about to start the season. So then you're 2 weeks behind schedule. So you're potentially missing round one or whatever it is. So yeah, we were having the discussions with the surgeon, like, if Hester goes into labour while I'm like getting my knee like washed ready to go in, like, can I leave and come back later? And the surgeon's like, yeah, you can do that. So like, we were making all these plans, because it could have happened at any time. I could have been literally under anaesthetic, and then the surgeon gets a call that Hester's going to give birth. But it was like, it wasn't like I could. From a football perspective, this is what Hester's talking about. It's not flexible. Like if
and they kind of said too, you could do it a week later, but then you wouldn't be able to support me a week after I gave birth, and we have 2 children now.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of lose.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just decided to go ahead and have the surgery, and I think it was about 3 days later, or 2 days later.
So he's trying to carry me into the hospital. Can't walk.
Do you feel knee pain when you're seeing your child?
I probably should.
Yeah.